I have a 7-year-old. His name is Jack, and he threw up all weekend. But before that, we played a game that I never thought I would find myself playing, and that is the Pokemon card game. Pokemon, the trading card game, I think is its official title. And I'm not going to say any of the designers or anything because there's a lot of them, and it's just been around since 1996. Isn't that crazy?
So long.
Let me talk about my background with Pokemon for a bit here. So I am 35 currently. I was 14 years old in 1998 in the lovely state of New Jersey. At that point, Pokemon Blue and Red had just come out for the Game Boy, and I was obsessed. And I actually had some of the cards that I ended up selling to this kid for $25, which I'm sure I got taken advantage of then. But I had no idea how to play it back then. I just played the Game Boy game a lot, and Pokemon, the original 150, was just in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to 2016. At that point, 5-year-old discovers Pokemon on Netflix without my influence, and my brain cannot comprehend this. I had no idea that I would have a child who was into something that I was in when I was 14, like the cartoons, and he's watching the original cartoons, and it was weird, but also exciting. So he comes up and starts talking to me about these original Pokemon and what they evolved to, and I'm like, yeah, I know about Pokemon, and it blew his little mind too. Okay, so
man, that is okay. Sorry,
it's weird.
I'm also
it's weird,
blowing
right?
my mind because I'm putting myself in your situation. In that,
yeah,
in a similar type of way, Pokemon Red and Blue is very much ingrained, and then to have a spawn of mine,
yeah, exactly,
to be able to also kind of naturally find this cultural phenomenon, and then be able to be like, "Dad, what's Pokemon?" And you're just like, "Oh."
And then
so anyways, please continue because I'm really curious where this is going.
Yeah, so it was the moment. It was the first moment that I actually started to enjoy time with my child. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay,
yes.
So I go, and he's old enough now that he can read, and he's a great reader. And so I go and buy 2 decks of Pokemon cards. I do pre-made decks, and I got him for Christmas, just some like booster packs from Costco type thing. And I was like, just have fun with these. I don't know what you're going to do. And what's funny is that like my neuroses from when I was collecting cards as a kid came through. I was like, you got to put these in sleeves. You got to put them in binders. Don't play with them or else you'll bend them. And I was like, I got to calm down. These are Pokemon cards. He can do whatever he wants with them. Right. So I buy 2 decks for myself that he can't have, so he can't get his gross barfy fingers on them. Except when we're playing. And so I bought a Pikachu and Eevee themed deck that play against each other. Mm-hmm. And we sat down and I learned how to play this game with him, and he friggin' loved it. And you know what? I also loved it. I was shocked. Okay, now I never thought I would actually play this game, but I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I don't think it's just because it was with my 7-year-old. I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. But there's actually like a pretty good game there. And what it is essentially is you have a deck of cards. Think like Magic, but super simplified, right? So you have 1 active Pokemon at any given time and a bench of 5 Pokemon, up to 5 Pokemon underneath that. And on your turn, you're able to draw a card, and you have energy cards. And different Pokemon have different abilities that take specific types of energy. And every turn you're putting 1 energy underneath a Pokemon of your choice. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of your turn, you attack. And there's other cards that do different things. But essentially, all you're trying to do is kill 6. Oh, sorry, not kill. Faint? What do Pokemon do?
Yeah, knockout, faint.
Knockout, faint, or whatever. So after you murder 6 Pokemon, you're able to... Anyway, that's how you win. And here's what I'm having a hard time right now, is balancing going easy on my son or obliterating him in this game. Because he has ended up in tears multiple times. And I don't know if I should go easy on him because that's kind of how he'll learn good sportsmanship, or I am just a bad father and I have no idea because I don't know what I'm doing. Because I don't want him to, I don't know. But it's just like I will, and he's fine. Like he's competent and he's playing the game and he's trying his best. But there's things that I'm trying to, teach him. I'm not just like not helping him at all. I'm going to do 90 damage if I can do 90 damage. You heard?
Oh, God.
I'm a terrible father. Anyway, I was actually...
Or are you a great father just teaching your son great life lessons?
That's it. A little did I know, one reason he started crying is because he ended up getting sick. So he was not at his his best performance that day. But I was actually really impressed. Now, I'm not going to go out and just buy a bunch of cards. I'll probably never buy a booster pack. I will probably only buy pre-made decks because they're like $10 and they're fun, and it's just kind of fun to change it up. They come with these like crappy plastic coins that you have to flip for some things, like a paper playmat that helps you learn how to play. Anyway, if you have children who are into Pokemon and you are hesitant to get into this game, it's actually super fun, and it can create great bonding moments with your children, even if you don't want them.
Wait, so is it my understanding that you like smoked your kid in this game?
Oh my gosh, he hasn't beat me yet.
No.
I think we've played like 4 games at this point, and I don't know what to do here because like I can only go so easy on him. Now he does play. Oh, here's something cool about this game. Every card you get, either the pre-made decks or the booster decks, you can scan them into the computer or your iPad and in the app, and you have those cards digitally as well as physically.
That's cool.
And that is cool. And that's something. Now he's played that on the computer, and he's won almost every one of those. And he'll lose some, but then he'll play them again and like win. So I feel like that's where he's getting his wins. And then he comes to the true Pokemon master, his father, myself, and
the true gym leader.
The true gym leader. I am Brock. Anyway, that's Pokemon the card game. I wanted to talk about it because it was not in my realm of possibilities at all. And then it was, and it's weird. And I took him to the Pokemon movie a couple weeks ago, the new one with Ryan Reynolds. And that movie was also great and weird.
That's what I heard.
It's total fan service. It's just as weird as the old movies were, like in the late 90s that were actually in the theater. Those are just weird. This one's just as weird, and it's fantastic. It's not a great movie, I'm sure, but I really enjoyed it. They really hit the nostalgia factor on there. Anyway,
did you so how does your son react to losing, specifically to you? Like how has that? So I have a story, but I'll tell it after I hear about how your son reacts to losing.
Okay, so there are times in this game where he will be boosting up his Pokemon, and like the turn before he's able to do a big move, I kill his Pokemon, okay? Because that's just the only thing I can do. Like I can't choose which one to attack. I can only attack his active Pokemon, right? So I'm trying to teach him like, okay, well maybe boost him up in your bench before you bring him out, type thing. And like there's this interesting situation where he has convinced himself that it's fine that it's dying. He's like, well, okay, thanks for killing him. I'll bring out another Pokemon. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird. He's like dealing with it that way. But then at the end of the game, when like I've destroyed 4 Pokemon and he's killed like one of mine, and he just loses it. I'm like, well, are we just gonna stop playing? And he's like, no, I'll keep playing. So he like pushes through the game and still plays the game, which is really interesting. And so I think he'll grow and develop. He's a very emotional child. I'm a very emotional person. We're just a very emotional family here. Yeah. Also heartless. I don't know how I found that balance. So.
No, I to this day don't know either.
Yeah.
So no, this is interesting too because I went bowling with my family yesterday, and it was empty because it's currently off season. In the summer, bowling leagues don't usually happen, so it was pretty much free range bowling. Which is the word and term I just made up. But there was a family next to us, and there was a kid, probably, I want to say like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, maybe, who was bowling for the first time without bumpers. And this poor kid bowled at least 2 games and did not like get any pins. And he was getting extremely upset. And it brought back to me like how I felt, because I remember one game in particular when I was young and that age when bowling, where I was like super frustrated, like even after returning home, I was just real grump. But I mean, I kept at it, it's just like for some reason. Yeah. And so I'm just, what I hope and I think is the case is like when you play games and, you kind of end up, beating him. I was like, I don't want to say smoked or squashed. I don't know. It feels weird. But he's just like, trounced is another bad word. But
I know.
You were victorious over your son.
I don't know how to say that. Yeah.
I'm glad at least like maybe he doesn't take it too personally, or that maybe he hopefully takes it as motivation to be able to like see what he can do in order to best you next time. And I swear the day that he does is going to be like, I'd be curious how your life changes after that.
Okay, that's a great point, because at this point, I don't know what to do here, because he doesn't take it well, but I want him to still play games with me, and he still does. That's the thing. But the at the point where he becomes a competent opponent, that's going to change everything. I don't know. That's going to be amazing. Like, he'll want to play games with me. I just have to make sure he still likes me at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a balance. Is he going to want to hang out with me and play games, or is he going to go play with his friends? I don't know. Being a parent is super weird. I don't know. And like, I kept thinking I'm getting better at it. I'm not.
Well, yeah, what a double-edged sword. Again, for being able, like, because it's like, because do you offer him suggestions? Like you said, you offered him suggestions, and
oh yeah.
I mean, at that point, if he decides not to do it, it's just like, I don't know.
See, well, yeah, and at his age, he brings out a certain Pokemon because he likes the way it looks or something like that. Like, he's not going for strategic advantage here. Mm-hmm. And it's fine. As long as he's enjoying playing, I just need to make sure I keep that spark of joy alive and not squash his flame of youth, of childhood, which apparently I'm so jaded against now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway. That's gonna resonate with me. I'm gonna have dreams about this tonight, I think.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what
that's
about you and your kids.
What? Yeah, yes, thank you. Let's move on.
Moving on.
That is a Pokemon, the card game. Gotta catch 'em all.